This is Paul. I was looking at what's called tacit law. Yeah. A law that is accepted by the consent of the people rather than by the enactment of legislative statutes by legislature or other governing body. Yes. Tacit understanding, an implied, unstated, unexpressed agreement, something quietly agreed upon without having been committed to writing. Yes, the tacit understanding and the tacit laws. Now, as I understand it, in the United States, we have actual written laws that legislatures have passed or Congress has passed and that have been signed into law. Yes. Now, let's say I'm in the fish family of pigs that decides, well, I've actually cloned yourself and your sisters, and I'm going to need you to have sex with your sisters so as to bring into the family a newborn. That we have the tacit understanding. It's something quietly agreed upon without having been committed to writing, that in the family we support those that are inbreds. Now, there are certain laws. I know that incest is not that important to those in the pigfish family, but if you have sex with your sibling that happens to be a clone of your own genetics, would that be considered an incestuous relationship? You know, you took my DNA, you make a clone of myself, and then I'm having sex with the DNA of my cloned sister so as to keep it in the family so that you can watch impure, perverted movies about the incestuous relationship of those in the pigfish family. Now, as I understand it, regardless of the ages of the individuals, even as adults, having sex with your siblings is against the law. And I know there's some quiet agreements, some tacit understandings in Clallam County that we just don't talk about certain things. But I have noticed the number of twins that there are in the county. In fact, I've been attracted to one of the twins, but not the other two, or two of the twins, but not all three. Yes. And it seemed like somebody decided to clone large numbers of Americans over the last 30 or 40 years. And then they had this tacit understanding that once you're in the family, we cover all your expenses, because really you're an experiment, and it doesn't matter if we actually use the DNA of the females to make male twins too. So why don't you two that are now of the age of majority, you're adults, why don't you have sex with your clone DNA without your knowledge? Now, for those that did the cloning over the last 30, 40 years, they actually do know the genetics of those that they've used the ovaries from or the sperm from. Yes. And come to find out, you might have an attraction to somebody that looks like yourself, but you don't know why you're so attracted to each other. It's almost like you have a brother-sister love that becomes a romantic relationship, and the next thing you know, you produced a little tiny baby, but you're both made out of the same DNA because they've been experimenting on Americans for the last 50 fucking years. I said a cuss word. Yeah, not good. Okay, let's not start like that. Okay. Now, I gotta know all the tacit laws in America, because as I understand it, we don't have any laws that are tacit. We don't have any laws of the population, the consent of the people, rather than the enactment of legislative statute or by legislature of another governing body. As I understand it, every law that has been passed is actually enforceable, and when you conspire to make the American population a large number of citizens that are all inbreds, it could be that somebody's going to get a large number of lawsuits today. Now, I had mentioned that there's a probability, a possibility, that somebody sold my actual sperm and made little tiny boys and girls out of my DNA, and if they grew up and fell in love with each other, that would be having sex with a sibling, wouldn't it? Now, I'm just going to need to know all of those in the pigfish family that have been using the ovaries or the sperm of American citizens to make little tiny babies that have grown up into adults that decided that they had this romance for each other and they just did not understand the attraction that they had for each other. Now, I'm going to need to know, where is my DNA today? Okay!